Hi. So in the previous videos, we looked at uh, Azure Fabric and compared it based on compute engine, transformation, etc. In this part, we will compare it based on data retrieval patterns. So what are we comparing? We are comparing SQL database uh, and say SQL database, data warehouse, lakehouse, event house. These are the four things we are trying to compare. So here you have the columns representing that. Now let us look at different areas optimized for selective lookups. So what does it mean? See, selective lookups means this refers to the ability to quickly retrieve specific data based on a key or identifier. You are selecting some data, firing a select query, and you are telling where first name equals this and last name equals this, or where employee ID equals this. Okay, so it is querying a database using a ID. So the check mark is indicating this system is well suited. That means SQL is well suited, as well as this one event house is well suited. Cross means data warehouse and lake house. These two guys are not the right place for this. So if you see SQL is more a transactional system. Event house, all events comes real time. Data is coming regularly. So selective lookups are good on these two systems. Now when we try to say optimize for large scans and aggregations. See, large scans means obviously data would be large. That is why the scans are large. Where do we store large data? We store in data warehouse, lake house, and event house can also receive large data. Primarily, it receives small data every 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or every minute, but it can also receive data, say, after 5 hours, it receives large data in one chunk. That is also possible. So if we try to see what does this actually mean, ability to efficiently process large amounts of data for what? Why are you processing that? For performing calculations like sum, average, counts. So checkmark indicates this system are good at it. Estimation means it indicates it is possible, but it is not a primary strength. So this SQL explanation means it is possible, but this is not the primary strength. Large scale. See, if you have very large data sets, do not store it in SQL. Now, response time. Milliseconds means very good. Seconds means relatively it is slow. What is response time actually indicate? What does it indicate? Primary. See, response means how long it takes to get a response from the system. If someone asks you a question, how long you take to answer it back. You listen the question, your brain processes it, then your brain thinks of an answer for that, and the answer comes out of your mouth. This is what happens. This response time we are trying to calculate. So milliseconds means has a very fast response time. Seconds means it's just lower response times. Multiple seconds is not a good response time. Okay, now if you talk about concurrency, a lot of people are not clear on what does concurrency mean. See, concurrency means ability to handle multiple requests. That means multitasking. Think about multitasking. There is one SQL developer and he's tagged to three different projects. So he's concurrently working at three different projects. High indicates that means it can handle many concurrent requests. I- So in IT world, if you are able to work for five projects at a time, you are highly concurrent. If you work on three projects, you are moderate. Less than three, if you're just working on one project, there is no concurrency. One project is that means one thread is consuming all CPU. There is no concurrency. So where do you get high concurrency? SQL gives you that, and event house. Obviously, why? Because the data volume is less, so less processing, so more people can get the data out of it. With data warehouse and lakehouse, the data volumes are enormous. So the concurrency is moderate. It is not low, it is not low, but it is moderate. So I hope you understood how we are trying to compare this Azure Fabric. These are all elements of Fabric, and why you should know Fabric. Like I always say, Azure is pushing Fabric. They want all clients to use Fabric. They are giving heavy discounts on Power BI. They are giving heavy discounts on uh, on Copilot. You get a great discount if you onboard Fabric. That is their prerequisite. They strongly encourage. So this channel is all about helping you with cloud certifications and keeping you tuned with the latest in the technology space, information technology space. So stay tuned. There are many things we are posting for members, Cloud Kernel and Cloud Ninja members. Pay a very small premium, become a Cloud Kernel or Cloud Ninja member, and gain access to all of those content.